The Crystal Foxes have a name!
It's not Crystal Foxes anymore? My band is in the clear, yes!
This week on the Star Wars Show, Andy sits down to talk about Star Wars Secrets of the Empire, BB-9Es invade the campus of Lucasfilm, and much, much more. Now, from the Lucasfilm headquarters, it's the Star Wars Show.
Hi, I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Andy Gutierrez, and this is the Star Wars Show, the only Star Wars show that celebrated the 39th anniversary of the Star Wars Holiday Special by watching it 39 times in a row.
Stir, whip, 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 stir.
I really appreciate your dedication to Gourmanda.
Stir, whip, stir.
Let's go to the news. On Monday, Entertainment Weekly revealed a ton of new information about Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Aside from their 4 different covers, they also had 14 never-before-seen images and official confirmation on the name of Andy's favorite new creatures.
That's right. My beloved Crystal Foxes are officially known as Vulptex or Vulptices if they're in a pack.
The Vulptex live on Crate and burrow deep within the crevices of the former Rebel Alliance hideout, which bookworms will recognize from Claudia Gray's Leia, Princess of Alderaan novel.
According to the Creature Shop's Neil Scanlon, quote, "The idea is that these wonderful sort of feral creatures had lived on this planet and had consumed the planet's surface and as such had become crystalline."
Neil Scanlon, man.
A legend.
You can learn more about the Vulptex as well as check out more reveals from The Last Jedi in the current issue of Entertainment Weekly on shelves now.
If you went on Star Tours lately, there's a good chance you got to experience Crate from The Last Jedi during your trip. But guests also got their first look at Batuu, the planet which Star Wars Galaxies Edge, the new Star Wars themed land coming to Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios, takes place on.
Described as a remote outpost on the Galaxy's Edge, Natch, Batuu was once a busy crossroads along the old sub-lightspeed trade routes whose prominence was bypassed by the rise of hyperspace travel.
It's now home to those who prefer to stay out of the mainstream and has become a thriving port for smugglers, rogue traders, and adventurers traveling between the frontier and uncharted space.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens in 2019.
While we've known that Timothy Zahn's follow-up to Thrawn, entitled Thrawn Alliances, was coming, we still had no idea what the cover to the book would look like.
Until today.
The cover features Thrawn and Darth Vader standing shoulder to shoulder, looking menacing as all get out.
Yeah, Vader's saber helps with that.
Thrawn Alliances will follow the Grand Admiral as he embarks on a secret mission for the Emperor, whereas the cover suggests he will join forces with Darth Vader. Thrawn Alliances will be available summer 2018. And for more breaking news from around the galaxy, check out Sphero's BB-9E. What a convenient and not at all legally scripted moment in the show to let people know that the following segment is a paid advertisement from our friends at Sphero.
And a life day miracle.
You're watching the Star Wars Show.
Look at him, he's heading for that small moon.
That's no moon.
Our guests today came all the way from down the hall. Please welcome Tudyk, and Bed Snow from ILMxLAB.
Hi.
Hey! Star Wars Secrets of the Empire is about to be unleashed upon the world. These are stories that fans get to experience outside of the theater setting, outside of their home. Can you tell me a little bit about what hyperreality is? Because Secrets of the Empire is billed as hyperreality as opposed to virtual reality.
I would say hyperreality really kind of combines the best of high-end visual effects, but in a real-time environment, and then also allow fans to kind of step in untethered. There's physical walls lined with the digital space so that you can actually reach out and feel various objects.
You can step inside the world truly. You can touch a wall in the void, and that wall will be what you see.
Right, because when you're in traditional VR, you're just kind of like in a room, and when there's something in front of you, you can't interact with it in real time. It's not actually there.
Yes, because you're actually free because you're wearing the equipment that allows you to see the virtual reality, and you're carrying it around and walking around a space. But they also use things like different types of environment things. They have fans, they have heaters, and there's even smells. So you really feel like you've stepped into this world, and it allows you to connect with it in a way that you can't when you're sitting looking at a movie screen even, or a TV.
Tell me a little bit about how the collaboration began with this, because ILMxLAB, The Void, and David Goyer working together along with the Lucasfilm Story Group. That's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it's a real collaboration.
We started talking with The Void back in September, and we saw some of the stuff that The Void was doing with their platform. We immediately said, oh my gosh, this is something we have to explore.
Story meetings were just like people throwing ideas here and there. Wow, wouldn't it be great to do this? Wouldn't it be great to do that? We were trying to find what would be exciting for fans. If you could step inside Star Wars, what do you want to do?
Right.
Our relationship and collaboration with The Void right now has just been really, really fantastic. I mean, the platform we've been able to push to new levels with them, there's tremendous opportunity for future endeavors.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what is actually part of the experience. Where are we?
We are actually approaching the planet Mustafar. One of the reasons we looked at Mustafar was that the Void as a platform allows you to feel things and touch things and smell things. So it was a good place that could really stimulate our senses. It's also a mysterious place. It's very rich, in Star Wars lore, of course, from Episode 3 particularly. And so our experience actually takes place between Episode 3 and Episode 4.
And you brought in some Star Wars veterans to kind of fill in the story here.
Alan Tudyk is fantastic. We had the opportunity to get him to actually breathe life into K2SO, and he is that character. He lives that character. And so fans can actually get right up close to him and see him and interact with him in a way that you can't get on film because he's right there next to you. You can get up close to him, you can move farther away, and in a couple cases you can actually reach out and touch him.
So Diego Luna.
Once we started putting the story together and figuring out the best way to try to set up the experience and get fans in, it made total sense to have him be a part of this.
He was having a great time with it, and I think it'll set everything up nicely. Cassian gives him a briefing at the start and that sort of thing.
Does that mean it's tied to Rogue One?
No, those same characters are in this.
But it's totally independent. They're
different
just
story.
appearing. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's its own story.
So when can fans go and experience Star Wars Secrets of the Empire?
It's exciting. It's coming out soon, so they'll be able to experience it in Orlando and London on December 16th.
Okay.
And in Anaheim on January 5th.
Cool. I can't wait to try it out. I've heard some really good things. Thank you so much for coming by.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
After a crazy week, it was mighty refreshing to go on Twitter and find so many fans legitimately thankful and mushy when talking about Star Wars using the Thanks Star Wars hashtag.
X-Wing Historian is thankful to, quote, all the nerds in the story group who keep finding ways to sneak bits of the EU into canon, us too.
Johnny Worthington is thankful for the prequels because without them, he wouldn't have his stupidly large and expensive collection of Lego Star Wars sets.
Wonder Mira is thankful because she says Star Wars saved her life and made her believe in herself. The quote was, "Thank you for telling me that I can do anything as long as I put my 100% in." That is so wonderful.
Love you, Wonder. And Joshua Merritt put it best and succinctly by simply saying all of it.
I think you mean all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
It's all true.
Thank you to everyone who participated, and with that, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, like us on Facebook, and download the Star Wars app.
Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.
It's crazy because it was just like there were two Harrison Fords standing here.
Yep.
If you closed your eyes, all of it.
It's pretty good.
Get off my plane.
Get off my Millennium Falcon.
That's true. Swear to me.